And we're back with the Real Estate Radio Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty, Boise. Chris, are you at a brisk pace in terms of folks selling, buying? What's going on in the real estate world?
You know, we've had a bunch of people jump off the fence that we've been working with since June, July, and they finally are they're getting to the realization of what's going on, and what is going on is the prices are going up, and it was inevitable anyway. We talk about market correction versus really true appreciation. It's been a market correction. I don't think we've had much appreciation, maybe a couple points here and there, but for the most part, it's been correction because it was so low. But we're seeing a lot of people. I mean, Jerry, and I'm glad we just talked about it. Jerry took a couple days off this week because she's been so busy, and it's great to see her so busy, but, we also need time away. And in our industry, it's like nonstop 24/7. And so we got people coming at us all the time. And we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if 4 people are going to decide today, hey, today is time to pull the trigger. And we did. Through September, October, we've been really busy.
So real quick, just hit us on the process. Somebody's driving around town today and say, hey, I'm listening to the Chris Lofthus show. Yeah, I was going to wait a month or wait till after the holidays to list my home. So they'd reach out to you, make the phone call to Chris Lofthus Group, then kind of tell us what that process is like for them.
We talk about this too, and I think that, when we talk about Burton or we talk about other vendors that we have on, we all kind of have the same motto of we basically just have systems, and we have people in place, we have talent in place to take care of every aspect. For me, for us, it's from a buyer's agent to myself to Annette, our executive assistant, to our transaction coordinators, to Pioneer Title, to Burton, to whatever we have. And so we kind of work a little bit different than most realtors who are single realtors by themselves. We have a team that has come together of really talented people that take care of everything from repairs to closing it up to helping you with your financing. And it's kind of been a really fun experience. We're growing fast. Been really kind of interesting to see how it's all kind of come about.
And that number is 350-6228, 350-6228 to the Chris Lofthus Group. So, Chris, obviously, if I'm asking you to sell my home, there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made as far as, it's the curb appeal. And you've told this story before where someone loves the house. You pulled up in the driveway, they go, whoop. This
right.
isn't the house. And
Sure.
you said, well, let's go look. No, I don't even want to look at it.
Right.
So you've been there. The paint, the wear and tear repairs, I call it, when they go through and detail your car.
Right.
I always go, we need a detailer for our house.
Sure.
Damaged flooring and carpet. That's a big one, maybe because I'm going through that with my home right now, but kind of walk us through that, and then how you and Burton team up to make that all come together.
We really, truly, in Burton, you and I need to discuss this in further detail. We know we both get extremely busy. Burton's been really busy, and like you said, he comes on the show a lot, and people have called him on the show, which I really love, the fact that he's getting feedback from the show and people are making those decisions to do stuff. But, we need to use the products that are available to us, be better at it. What I'm saying is the loans that are out there that are available to let people like Burton and Burton's company come in and, fix the carpets, do that, do the counters, redo a lot of stuff and roll it into the end loan. And again, I think Burton will tell you too, is that people just don't realize that these products are available to you. But when you walk into a house, Burton, just give us a scenario. For example, we walk into a house, it's pretty dated. Let's say it's not that dated. Let's say it was built in the late 90s. But, you got different style carpet, cabinets, whatever. Kind of talk them through the process because this is how we work too, is that we have everything covered. And so Burton says, people go, I don't want to go through the remodel because our house is going to be a mess and there's going to be nails everywhere and there's going to be our kids, and all you got to deal with. So walk us through, Burton, a little bit, because I love the process that you always talk about.
Well, again, we do that needs analysis even for someone who wants to sell their home. And an idea of what their comfort zone is, and visiting with Chris and doing some evaluations, you can get a pretty good feel for, is there any room to do anything, let's just say, really outstanding? Is there equity there? And in today's world, most of the time there's not. So what we're really finding, and we're doing a lot of this, and I'd like to put a shout out there to Robbie at Idaho Floor Supply. They have a showroom downtown, but they specialize in fixing carpet. And I've been amazed at the repairs they've been able to do right in the middle of a floor, even on a Berber carpet and that. So, we have folks like that we're keeping them fairly busy on those little, I don't want to call them handy touch-up things, but just things that must be done to make that first walkthrough something more impressive. And I think, honestly, my advice to a lot of folks right now is to clean, caulk, paint, get the animals out of the way, and get the clutter gone. You're going to move anyway, so you're going to have to box it up.
Yeah, but too, Dave, we talk about this a little bit, and it's one of those things where the vision portion of it, I would say probably, and not in a negative light, but about 90% of the people we work with on a daily basis have a really hard time looking past that, looking past the pink paint that someone put on their daughter's wall, looking past the giraffe deal that someone painted on their son's wall, or whatever, that kind of stuff, or a purple room, or whatever it is. And that's what, when we talk about this with Burton, is that we go there, we bring in, we look at it, we come in there, and Burton will personally go with you down to the supply house and say, like, here's your options, and he'll walk you through it. And it's kind of funny, and you'll say so too, Burton, it's kind of amazing how people start to open up to the fact, they start really getting it, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Having vision is not something everybody's born with. What's really nice, honestly, if folks have a picture of what they would like, they've done some research, any room can look like that. It's honestly true. It's just a matter of overcoming just some ugly colors and a few dated finishes, and it's amazing what can be done at a pretty reasonable price if folks would just take a little time to do some research.
Well, they do, and you're exactly right, Dave. They walk in and people we've literally had buyers walk into the house, and the house is everything that they desire, and a seller painted a room bright red, and they just cannot get over it. And I'm looking at the people, when we're talking to them, I'm going, that's a $25, $30 gallon bucket of paint or whatever it is, and some paint, and they just cannot seem to get by it, Burton. And it's not as expensive as people, carpet's not as expensive as people think.
No, it's really not. And that's, as far as how a house smells too, fresh carpet, sure. It's like that new car smell.
Well, and Burton, the role of, I'm going to put my man hat on now, is, your spouse looks at the house, hey, I love this. Well, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at the grout, and I'm going to look at those type of things. And you also work on that, whether it's water intrusion, some of the plumbing and electrical issues, the bathroom tile and grout, like what Chris said he's going through. So it's not just looking at the carpet that's rolled. That's easy to figure that out, but also some of the other things that, as you said, 6 months, a year down the road, you're like, how come there's water trickling down from upstairs?
That's something we pointed out before, but I think we're still finding folks that aren't taking that advice, and that is to do a pre-inspection before you have people coming through your home and having a home inspector in, because you're going to have to deal with the issue again. You're going to have to deal with it someday to sell the home. Let's get it off the table now. Right,
and we discussed this too, Dave. You brought up a little bit earlier, is that if you're really going to sell your house and you reach out to Burton, you call me and I give you Burton's number, or you get on my website or whatever, and Burton comes over. The fact of the matter is, this whole train of new construction isn't stopping anytime soon. I mean, these developers are starting to develop lots again. They're gobbling up lots, so you're going to see more new construction. So just get used to it. And the fact of the matter is, if you have a house you've lived in 5-6 years that you built 5-6 years ago, and you have some issues, fix them. We tell people a lot of times before they even list their house, get a home inspector in there, find out what's going on. And because, for the most part, because what you're doing is you get a guy like Burton in there, he puts, carpet, whatever, and you invest a little bit of money, let's say $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 into it, you're going to gain. Plus, you're going to look much better against your competition, especially if people are looking at new.
Well, and I know I hear my kids tapping away, because there was a time when every 3 to 4 years we'd get a new house. I mean, we weren't the only ones, right, Chris? That was and now they're like, well, Dad, isn't it time? Dad needs to get Chris to pay him more money so he can get a new house. But things like what you said about doing the carpet. Now, guys, I got in trouble last time when I said, hey, I want one of those Ling and Louie doors in the kitchen. Remember that went outside? Yeah. So here's my new idea, Burton, and you guys will probably jump all over. I want to have a kind of a barn door. Is that what you call that slide to hang into my office? And just seeing
that's
that
actually not a bad idea.
That's okay. I get it. Okay.
Idea. Well, that's different. That's what I'm talking about. Up against your competition, that would stick out in someone's mind, especially if it was done properly, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you do those type of things. Would that be and I mean, first you would look at it and say, Dave, that's not going to work in this house. Right. Or here's how we would do it.
Well, I would say more that if we did it the way you wanted to do it, I would say we would probably maybe say no. But
hey, I'm talking to Burton right now.
Yeah, it's been a trend here lately is secret doors. So
very popular.
You bet.
Yeah, very popular, especially in the master bedrooms, in the closet.
So help us out. What if we don't know what the secret door is other than James Bond movies?
Sure.
What
might look like a bookcase.
Okay.
You touch it right, it opens up and goes to the wine cellar or goes to a secret room.
Safe, storage, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're really cool. They're very really popular.
So, Burton, what would you say is the coolest, and I know there's lots of them, but something you said, I built this or I did this on a remodel that was really cool. What was that? What would that be?
I would say it was the secret door, because you'd walk down the hallway in the entry, and you'd never know it, but it was typical pull the book, and the door opens.
Oh, really?
And it went down into a really cool wine cellar, and that was all faux painted in there with what looked like brick, and it was pretty awesome. Everybody looks at it just goes, wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Burton hasn't gotten you fired up to at least give him a call and say, hey, maybe what was, what could have been, and what might just happen again, this is the guy to call, burtonsremodel.com. It's 447-8651, 447-8651. And Chris, you did make an excellent point. I know you said it in jest, but us guys think, oh, well, I can figure out how to do this. But really, at the end of the day, you need Burton to do it. If nothing else, keep your marriage together. You need the expert to do it, because someday you are going to sell your home.
Here's a quick point, and I just want to throw this in there because I'm seeing it. Everybody is getting busy. Subcontractors are getting extremely busy. And a lot of them staffed down to survive, right? Mm-hmm. And now they don't have enough qualified help in the valley. A lot of people left. A lot of people went to the Dakotas or wherever to work. So if you're thinking about getting something done, you really need to focus on one or two contractors, get a set plan up front, get that done first, and then commit to your contractor. Otherwise, it's going to be months before you get somebody. So now, it's getting back to where it was before a little bit. You need to commit, and if you want to get your project done, you need to focus.
He's exactly right. And I talked to all these builders out there that are building, and things have changed just in the last 90 days. They're getting quotes from Franklin Building Supply, from BMC West, from Pro Build, whatever, and they're starting to go, hey, ding, 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 look, hey, the prices of drywall is not the same as it was. Our framing packages are going up. And the consumer's got to pay for that. It's just a fact of life.
Well, it's supply and demand. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
That's just kind of how things work.
Kind of call it construction inflation, but it's coming again. So you're going to get your best values now.
All right.
Wait.
Burton, shoot your contact information out so folks know how to track you down.
That is burtonsremodel.com, or call 447-8651.
Hey, and Burton, I want you to stay around for the fourth segment, because I want to chat a little bit about, I want to talk about the fall parade homes and the house we have with Flaherty out there and the shores. But I also want to touch base on a little bit about these flippers, how they're coming back when we return, and chat about it a little bit.
All right. Sounds good. Back after this.